Let's go now to our story in Ethiopia, where two explosions hit cities in Ethiopia's Amhara state, which neighbors in the northern state of Tigray, where federal troops are fighting local forces. The Human Rights Commission has warned against rights violations in the conflict. Now, hundreds of people have been killed in clashes since Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sent the National Defense Force on an offensive against well-trained local troops in Tigray on November the 4th, after accusing them of attacking a federal military base in the area. I want to bring in our correspondent there, Colleta Wanjohi, who's live for us this afternoon for the very latest. Colleta, what's the state of play there?
Well, as of now, we are told the cities of Amhara and Gonda, where the rocket missiles were fired, are a bit calm now. The government says that the Ethiopian National Defense Forces has ensured that there's no more skirmishes there. But the report came from the Prime Minister's office in the wee hours of today, where it confirmed that the rocket had been fired to these two regions. Now, Gonda and Amhara, if we look at the air travel distance between these two places and Tigray, they're between 114 miles and 179 miles by air travel. So, and we know the government had already confirmed much earlier in the week that they know that the Tigray military front on the other side has missiles, but it said they're sure that the missiles are a bit short range, about 300 kilometers, right? So that's what we've seen, the missiles being launched now, and the Tigray leadership has come out to say that any airport that will be used by the government to attack the Tigray will be destroyed.
Let's get some context, Colleta. Give us the history behind this conflict.
Well, the situation is this. The northern region is vast, but there is a region called the Tigray region. Now, the Tigray region has a political leadership, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, that enjoyed leadership in this country for over 27 years. That was before 2018, when Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed came into power. So between 2018 and now, we've seen a lot of push and pull between the Prime Minister, who dissolved the ruling coalition then and formed his own party, and the Tigray People's Liberation Front refused to join his own Prosperity Party. So we've seen the Tigray leadership on the other side calling the Prime Minister illegitimate, and I think worst came to worst when on September 5th, the leadership there said that the Prime Minister was illegitimate because he did not hold the national polls, although the government had said it wouldn't hold the national polls in August because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But the region there went ahead and did their own regional elections, which the parliament on this other side says is illegitimate. So either sides are calling each other illegitimate. And on 4th November, we saw the Prime Minister waking up in the morning and saying that it had gone too far. The leadership on the other side in the Tigray had launched an offensive against the national barracks there, attempting to steal equipment. And that's when he launched the offensive on 4th November.
Any reaction as yet from the African Union, from the United Nations? What are they saying?
Well, the African Union, the United Nations, and other international organizations, as well as different countries, have been talking about the need for de-escalation of the violence up there. We've seen the African Union saying that, demanding for an immediate ceasefire up there. The United Nations saying that violence is not the way to go ahead. But the Prime Minister has also come out several times to ask the international community to understand him, that he needs to do this military offensive because there is no respect from the Tigray region. And he says the leadership there, which he says are just comprised of a few people, have refused, have derived themselves or gone away from the constitutional order. And he says he's calling them now terrorists, has put out arrest warrants for about 69 leaders there, and says that without this military offensive, then the northern region of Tigray will not come back to constitutional order. So he has said that Ethiopia is a sovereign state and will do as much as it needs to do to bring its region back to order.
We are also getting reports, Colleta, that thousands of people are fleeing to neighboring Sudan as a result of the conflict. Can you confirm what sort of numbers are we looking at here?
Yes, the Sudan Refugee Agency has said that as of today, it has received about 21,000 people who have fled through the borders, because we know Sudan has a border with Ethiopia. So about 21,000 people have fled there, seeking refuge. There are also reports that amongst them there are some soldiers who have defected and are seeking refuge there. So there is a worry, and we've seen the UNHCR and other humanitarian agencies saying there is a problem, because they are seeing another problem coming out of the military offensive. And also another issue that has been a humanitarian issue, and which has been spoken about by the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, is that it is demanding for humanitarian access for people inside the Tigray region. And remember, the region also hosts refugees. So there is a humanitarian crisis looming, according to the humanitarian agencies, and they are saying that the violence might escalate this further.
All right, Colleta Wanjohi, live for us there. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting.